Jeff Hardy leaves AEW. A new WWE Faction Imminent. NXT beats AEW. And more. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. Before I get into any of this video's top stories, breaking news! Kevin Nash is, quote, stoned to the bone. On his Click This podcast, Kevin Nash has explained why he appears so cool and calm on the Who Killed WCW documentary series. Well, they weren't paying me that much. I was stoned to the fucking bone. Also, Jeff Hardy is leaving AEW right about now. Jeff's brother Matt Hardy left AEW back in April when the two sides couldn't agree on a new deal. Jeff's status ever since has been up in the air, particularly as he hasn't been seen on AEW TV since his match against Sammy Guevara on the February 14th episode of Rampage, which saw Sammy reportedly get suspended when he hit his finisher despite concerns Jeff had suffered a serious concussion. But there was tension between Jeff and AEW before then. After debuting on Dynamite in March 2022, saving his brother Matt, Tony Khan had big plans for the reunited Hardy Boys, reportedly booking them to win the tag team championships. But then Jeff suffered a concussion several months later at Double or Nothing, and several weeks after that found himself indefinitely suspended when he was arrested for a DUI. Jeff had only just been released by WWE after concerning behaviour previously. He wouldn't return to AEW for 10 months, where Khan appeared hesitant to push him to the level Jeff wanted. He found himself so low down the card, he was feuding with the Firm.
Stop trying to make
the Firm
happen.
Jeff appeared to become frustrated and started taking shots at his booking, saying he feels like a ghost on Matt's podcast and writing on social media that the Hardys are stuck in the dimension of AEW Rampage. Despite being out of action through injury or suspension for half his AEW run, Fightful is reporting Khan hasn't added any of the time missed to Jeff's contract, which means Hardy becomes a free agent available to appear for any wrestling promotion he wants today, the 14th of June, which might make Jeff the only active wrestler to have had so many runs with top North American promotions, because his last 30 years looks like this. 9 years in WWE from 1994 to 03, then Ring of Honor, then TNA, then back to WWE, then back to TNA, then back to Ring of Honor, then back to WWE, then 2 years in AEW. Those are the numbers behind the adage, no matter how much Jeff screws up in his personal life, there will always be another promotion looking to book him. And that streak seems set to continue. As you know what else is today, the 14th of June, the same day Jeff becomes a free agent? TNA Against All Odds, which is main evented by Moose defending his world championship against Jeff's brother, Broken Matt Hardy. Fightful is reporting TNA is interested in working with Jeff, while PW Insider claim he is expected to make his return there this weekend, possibly as soon as Against All Odds. And if he does reunite with his brother at the PLE, perhaps we could see them both show up in NXT's Battle Royal on Tuesday to determine the number one contender for Trick Williams' title at Heatwave. After Cody Rhodes teased there will be participants from multiple locker rooms. Matt has previously teased he'll show up to make it a TNA versus NXT champion match once he's beaten Moose, which he set up on last night's Impact by partying like it's 2016, bringing back his Broken Universe, where he turned Eddie Edwards into an actual werewolf, beheaded Alicia, and Vanguard 1 helped Matt hit a twist of fate on Moose. What do you want to see from the Hardy Boys in 2024? Let me know in the comments down below, because I'll be replying to people from outer, pausing on the entrance ramp to do my little finger dance thing. But Matt and Jeff might not be the only TNA wrestlers sneaking through the prohibitive portal.
Say his name and he appears.
I believe in a steal. After being referenced by Pat McAfee on Monday's Raw and chanted for by the NXT crowd on Tuesday, Joe Hendry revealed that he won't be alone in his PLE match against Frankie Kazarian tonight. Because it's Chicago, he'll have CM Punk's best friend Ace Steel as his manager. He followed that up with a tweet. Look in my eyes, what do you see? A Steel managing Joe Hendry. Punk somehow appearing on NXT or TNA in a segment with Hendry and Steel isn't as ludicrous as that once would have sounded. Punk has been a regular fixture behind the scenes in NXT, as it's reported he wants to one day succeed Shawn Michaels in charge of the promotion. And he appeared in a backstage skit with Roxanne Perez on Sunday's Battleground after she had beaten TNA's Jordan Grace. Grace herself called out anyone from the Indies, TNA, WWE, MLW, NWA, Stardom and AAA on Thursday's Impact, setting up her Knockouts Championship Open Challenge at tonight's Against All Odds, which could be anyone from Becky Lynch all the way to AJ Lee. But will most likely be Natalya. Whoever it is, WWE will be looking to stack up Tuesday's episode of NXT to capitalise on the fallout, because they could again beat AEW Dynamite. Wrestling Observer Radio has reported that WWE booked Cody Rhodes on this week's episode of NXT because they really wanted to beat AEW in the ratings. The two shows were only 22,000 viewers apart in overall viewership the previous week, and AEW was going to face big competition from Game 3 of the NBA Finals. And now the numbers are in. They don't lie. I can confirm they did it. In one specific metric. NXT drew 718,000 viewers and a .22 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic, which is one of the biggest numbers of the year, but disappointingly down 7% on the previous week, despite having WWE's top star Cody advertised on the show. But Wednesday's episode of Dynamite only pulled in a total viewership of 681,000 viewers, 37,000 viewers fewer than NXT, making it one of the rare times in history that NXT has beaten AEW in that weekly figure. The 18 to 49 demographic tells a slightly different story though, as AEW just beat NXT with a .23 to a .22. It's undeniable though that AEW is struggling to maintain its audience, as this week's is a massive 109,000 viewers down from the previous episode. Now here's a message from everyone's favourite 80s wrestler, Turbo Jack.
They gotta show up at Scotland this weekend? Well, Turbo Jack's there! How to book a flight? On Turbo Jack's phone? Flight. Oh, hi there! I'm 80s wrestler Turbo Jack, here to promote patreon.com/WrestleTalk, which you should sign up for now to get loads of exclusive content, like Ollie and Luke's 20-hour plus series on the breakup of The Shield. That's too long! To get a shout out from Turbo Jack on the news. So a big thank you to the bald and broming Brett Linforth, Big Chicken Josh Martin, the Vindicator, Finn Brennan, Double L Liam Leonard, The Pin, Echo of Success, Luke Kelly, Abominable Michael Abbott, King of the Conquest, Stephen Mullinix, Par for the Course, Zarjeth, well, there's a Will Campbell, and the Machine Gun, Alex Anderson. Go to patreon.com/WrestleTalk for loads of exclusive content and your own Turbo Jack shout-out.
It's Against All Odds tonight, it's Clash at the Castle tomorrow, and the wrestling momentum will continue through to Monday, as after teasing their debut for what feels like years, the Wyatt Six is reportedly finally set to show up. WWE had been running an Easter egg style marketing campaign for the debut of a new faction in a very similar style to when Bray Wyatt returned to WWE in late 2022. Many of the clues have pointed towards the date of the 17th of June, which is the next episode of Raw. PW Insider is now reporting they've been told by multiple sources that the group was slated to film vignettes this week in advance of their unveiling, which may come as soon as this Monday. The Wyatt Six is reportedly set to feature Bo Dallas, Nikki Cross, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gacy and Eric Rowan. Wait a second. In more faction news, Solo Sikoa's New Blood faction, yes, I'm going to make New Blood a thing again, seems set to add a new member. WWE have filed a trademark for Tala Tonga, which is believed to be for Hikuleo, the real-life brother of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Body Slam have reported Hikuleo is headed to WWE after finishing up with New Japan last weekend. Tala could be a play on Hikuleo's real middle name, Tala. And Wrestling Observer Live is reporting the Tala Tonga WWE name is also to do with how legitimately tall he is, standing at a massive 6'7", which would have probably stopped Vince McMahon from signing him before, because he was rumoured to hate the height 6'7" and wouldn't let anyone mention that measurement on air, where they'd always skip from 6'6" to 6'8", when listing heights. What did we live through? So let's be grateful for one Tony Khan. Calm down, Disco Inferno in the comments. Let me tell you the story first. Mercedes Mone has shared via her weekly newsletter, I didn't know she had one either, that her brother's health has not been good lately. She spoke about how she was halfway across the country when she heard, so she rang her friends Mojo, Jojo Rawley and Samurai Del Sol to go help at her house in Orlando. When she told Tony Khan what was going on, without hesitation, Tony said he would help and let me take his jet to Orlando. No lie, I'm actually crying tears of joy and gratitude as I write this. I'm so blessed and grateful to be working at a company like AEW and to have a leader whose motto is family first. What are the best match stipulations of all time? Subscribe to find out in tomorrow's brand new episode of Tables, Lists and Chairs. In the meantime, watch our 10 worst finishers list while you wait. Links in the video description below. Here's a clip of the stipulations.
So, Luke, I don't know if you know this about me. I like TNA from the mid-2000s.
What is this match? I've never heard of it.
Oh, the Monsters Ball match.
I've heard of it.
So the Monsters Ball match is that all of the wrestlers are locked in cupboards the night before the show.
No! Luke!
For 24 hours, and they're not given food, water, or light. So when they come out to the ring, they're like rabid animals.
No, Luke! Luke, no!
And then they have a hardcore match.
This is not... No, Luke! So they're all just locked in cupboards, presumably covered in shit and piss.
I mean, they'll probably give them some buckets.
But they're not allowed food or water?
Yeah, no food or water.
So they're dehydrated?
Yeah, they're dehydrated, they're hungry, and they're just like, oh, so angry and pissed off. And they come out and the lights are shining, and they're all like, oh no, I lost the lights because I haven't seen sunlight for 24 hours.
So... Was it any good? Was it actually good?
Yeah, all right, yeah.